Definitely a lot to take in, people. A lot to take in. What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are back. RGT episode 53. What is going on? A lot of interesting topics to talk about. How y'all doing?
Yo.
Yo, how y'all people doing?
For sure. Let's go ahead and get into these little intros, then we'll get into the show. Go on and say what's up to the people, Carlos.
Hey, man, once again, man, it's your boy, Type487, aka Carlos Fernandez. And yeah, episode 53. Let's go.
Greg Harris.
Hey, what's happening?
For the first time ever. Oh, sorry.
We have a good one. Got some good topics. I was off doing some things, saw some interesting things happening. But yeah, we'll get it going.
All right. For the first time ever, live from the Polar Express, Mets.
Okay, joining live from the speeding train and being held.
Oh, man, live from the Polar Express, for God's sakes. Oh,
anyways, what's up, everybody?
All right, let's start, man. Oh boy, how do I start today's show, man? I know everybody's timeline is on fire off of that tweet from Microsoft.
Oh,
Microsoft revealed a new controller, and it's called Our Blacks controller.
Oh, cool.
Nah, it sounds cool, but it don't look cool. It's literally a bunch of
It'll really pair nicely with that side console.
Yeah, it's a lot going on. My timeline is on fire. Here, I'll show you right now, Craig. This is what it looks like. We'll put it on screen. Oh, yeah. This is.
Oh, I saw that.
Oh, did you see it?
Hold on. Wait a minute. I think. All right, I've seen people talking. I didn't know what they were talking about. So
that's what it looks like.
Guys. I mean, well, it's not up on my screen yet.
It's on the screen now.
Oh, okay.
If you look at the show, there it is.
Yeah. I did see that. I thought that was something somebody made.
No, I don't know about that, Chief.
That's what they're doing.
Oh, okay. Well, and African colors.
I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're thinking in that regard, but that's what they decided to do for that controller, and people are losing their minds over it. So that's what's going on there. Man, this is funny. It's just a funny week for sure. It's a real funny week because now we got even more heads up, basically, even for the new control, not the controller, the new console. Y'all remember these the discless only Xbox, like the discless Xbox?
Yeah.
We found out that that's basically the exact same thing as the Xbox One S. And here's the crazy thing: they didn't even think about adding a bigger hard drive, guys. It's still 1 terabyte drive.
Okay.
And they got the price down though. Like, why though? What's the point?
Did they say what the price was?
I think it's like ain't the same as the Xbox One S right now, or like a little cheaper. Yeah, something like
I think it's gonna be a little bit cheaper than the S. Yeah, I don't have a problem with what they're doing. I mean, they're done. I mean, when you people got to really, and I got to start doing it too. We got to really start doing better as far as just letting people know, look, they are getting out of the console market. They're going to pretty much be a big third party developer in the next 18 to 22 months. They're going to still have native hardware for everybody who's worried about that. But there's really nowhere else they're going to really be able to take it. And that's why they're streaming. And look, Sony figured out how to make money with consoles. So did Nintendo. Microsoft did not, for whatever reason. They could not do it. And they did listen to people when they say about the X. We all know that was a lie. Donnie D is the one that greenlit the Xbox X. But the fact of the matter is, it's here, and people they didn't go out and buy it in droves. They didn't. So and so shout out to them. But you got a fan base that. I mean, I'm going to say this guy's name. When Crap Gamer said, Mr. Megaton himself says it's over, that gave a lot of guys and gals kind of permission to just say F it. Because that's what you're seeing. You are seeing a whole lot of people just say, I'm done. And it's like they were waiting to call somebody. And I'm not saying that he's done, but he's admitted it. It's over. There's nothing Xbox can do. They will probably be third party. Streaming is their future. Right. He doesn't like it, but it's refreshing to hear, because when you look at I can't say the timeline, the comment section, you got all these people coming out saying, yeah, I'm done with them. Yeah, I'm keeping my Xbox. I'm not buying the other one.
Yeah.
You know, it's just stuff like that. It's almost like when he walked away, everybody has permission to say, I'm done. It's like, oh, I'm done. You know,
shout out to everybody in the chat. What's up, Fernando? What's up, the one and only Spartan guy? What's going on? Yeah, that's
que lo que, my peoples, que lo que, how y'all doing?
Yeah, Savage says that Meds. Yeah, that's Meds on the damn Underground Railroad. What's up, Bray? Everybody,
he's playing that.
Do me a favor, hit that like button and share it out.
Looks like that train from Metro. So it looks like that train from Metro.
Yeah, it does, man.
He on that. That's where he at. Yeah, so, man, yeah, I agree with you completely, though. It's definitely crazy. A lot of dudes just have thrown in the towel.
Yeah,
a little too late. A little too late to throw in the towel now, but the damage has been done. But they have officially thrown in the towel.
Yeah. And what Google did this week is it shook Microsoft. I mean, when the head of Microsoft Games, Phil Spencer, had to come out 10 hours later and start talking, that's full shook at that.
You know what I love about YouTube though, especially when you have an audience. My audience, I'm glad about my audience, the way I got my audience, because my audience would tell me straight up they don't like something. My last video regarding the streaming joint, I was getting hit left and right from everybody. Even Carl was like, "What the? What are you talking about?" I'm like, "Oh God, here we go." So, as far as streaming only future, I'm not with the streaming only future, but they showed more. If you think about it, it seemed like Google had their head on the right track with what they want to do, and Microsoft seemed like they were just doing it for the sake of doing it.
Yeah,
when it came to theirs with that demonstration, that was the vibe I got from Google compared to Microsoft's xCloud. Now, obviously, we know xCloud is going to be a big thing at E3 this year since they got all the showroom in the world right now. EA's not there and Sony's not there. So if you have two of those major competitors out there, or really, if you have two major factors going, then there should be no excuse to leave anything out. You feel me? Nothing should be left out.
Google did it right. Google has games running at they told you needed like 20, I don't know, 25 megs.
25 megabits minimum.
Which I don't know how that is, but we have
that's an improvement.
Yeah, we have a whole bunch of that here. I went to pay my bill today, said, can I get this Google streaming device? They said, well, how much do you need? I told them that, like, yeah. So, 60 frames a second on these games is what they're bringing. I mean, I'm not here to talk about they took away the power narrative. That was a direct hit in Microsoft's nose. I mean, they can no longer say they have the best place to play the game. So everybody, the last time I checked, 10 point whatever T-flops is more than 6. So
they improved a few things though. It was 30, wasn't it 30 in the beta when we first got to use it? It was like 30 megs they recommended, something like that. So 25, I think it's an improvement. They did improve it.
If you can get 50, I would just go to 50.
Oh yeah, of course.
So but at the end of the day, I love it because I said this on 60 frames no lag. I said if Google gets in, it's a wrap for Microsoft because this is it. They saw this freight train coming and they just said, man, we getting out of here. Can't compete with that. What are they going to do? Give you the exact same service? Say that our games we have more games. Fair enough, but Google will have more. This is the way they work. So it's over. It's a wrap. I'm glad it's here. I understand people are threatened by it, but in the words of Thanos, destiny has arrived.
It arrives just the same.
Yeah, it's going to arrive just the same. So to quote Kid Smooth, why are they doing this? That's gotta be. I'm gonna get a T-shirt with that made on.
I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you exactly why are they doing this. It's plain and simple. They want to transition from all physical hardware to a all digital based software, and that's just what they want to do. They don't want no longer constrictions.
Yeah, they don't want. And for the people who get triggered when people say that, we're not talking about like literally right now. It's not going to happen overnight.
Oh no.
Future plan, kind of like what Google said with Stadia. The plan for Google Stadia in the long run is to give you 8K, 120 frames per second when they eventually get this up and running and at its full optimal efficiency down the road. That's what they want. That's what Microsoft wants in the long run. They do want their stuff to be a service in the long run. But as of right now, consoles are still here, but it's transitioning into that phase they want it to be.
I mean,
this is a foundation layer. Like you have to set it up for the future.
Yeah, and again, I like the fact that they said that we will be able to. That it's not that everything is going to be. Yes, and the PS5 will have some 8K source games, but Sony makes 8K TV, so of course they're going to have their console do 8K. But
let's not take away the aspect of the whole situation, right?
Yep.
Regardless of how streamlined this whole service is going to be, you're still going to need certain physical hardware adapters in order to stream those games. It's not that you're going to go completely wireless and you're going to have these quote unquote images in VR and all this other jazz that people are trying to paint. No, it's just simple. You're still going to need a computer to play the game. You're still going to need a TV with a Chromecast to play the game. The physical aspect of meaning, when I mean physical, I mean an actual console being connected to the TV. You turn it on, and bam, boom, you're playing your games. No, this is just going to be you, the controller, the display where is that, and you just sit down, you turn it on, turn on your controller, and bam, you're playing. I myself, I don't support it. I think it's taking away the raw essence of what a gamer is, and that is having your physical hardware there for you.
Yeah. Shout out to Spartan guy for dropping the jewel right there. And also shout out to Players United Gaming. He says Kit Ground Gaming. I don't know how I feel about that.
Well, I mean, again, people got to understand that. All right. If you look at it business-wise, take all the fanboying out. Phil Spencer, within 10 to 12 hours, was responding. I mean, so, and people are like...
He obviously took offense because they were taking jabs at Sony and Microsoft with their...
But I watched that again because I heard people say that. I did not see them take a jab at Sony. I heard them talk about power. I don't see Sony touting power.
Exactly. That's the thing, though. He took offense from what they said on the stage. On the stage, they legit basically said that we're more powerful than both the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X. And they threw that out there. And they basically say, yeah, this is a server. This is not even a console. So the fact that they even took jabs like that, plus they even showed off their demos. Again, they had, obviously it was bound.
They did, Ryan. But they showed demos of games that they showed demos of multi-plat games that were up until Wednesday. Was that thing Wednesday or Tuesday?
It was Tuesday, I think.
Okay, up until Tuesday, allegedly looked and ran better on the Xbox X. Not anymore. That's over. So they no longer. So that's why, and I know we'll move on here. But that's why Phil Spencer responded. Because he had to. Yeah. I mean, Phil Spencer didn't just get up. I guess I better get up and say something. He was told, you need to get out there and say something because this has got us shook. At this point, we can't compete with this right now, and they can't. Yeah. Microsoft isn't laying fiber in cities. Google is.
Yep.
So it's over.
Very true. Yeah, I'm just again the whole situation involving it. Again, it takes time. It's going to take at least 10 years, right? It's just like it took 10 years for Netflix to pretty much destroy Blockbuster, right? It's going to take a minute. But I'm telling you guys, as much as I want to see Microsoft really push everything, like you really give a great show for E3, you guys I want everybody, when we go into E3 this year, pay close attention to their quote unquote future. That's what they're going to talk about a lot is future.
And the catchphrases, bro.
Yeah,
importantly, catchphrases.
That's going to be the main thing you got to look at going into E3 this year. And speaking about E3, now we know Sony's not going to be there, so let's get into one of the main discussions here, because this is going to take up a good chunk of this show, because there's a lot to talk about. Let's get into this. So Sony's new event is called State of Play. Everybody's basically calling this the Inside PlayStation, or not Inside PlayStation, but the PlayStation Direct. The PlayStation Direct, basically. It's basically what it is. The streaming only event. Sony's going to be doing it. I'm guessing it's going to either be live or it's going to be a pre-taped type of event, and this pre-taped event is going to be played as if it's live. So that's what they're going to be doing. So that's what they're going to be doing for the show. And since this is going to be their main way of going about it, they're going to cover pretty much everything that we've been wanting to hear about. I don't expect to hear nothing about PS5. I'm not expecting that, but I am expecting just updates on games that we already knew for a fact. For example, they did the Game Developers Conference, and they gave a little insight to a few of the investors on what games they're going to launch before, the PS5 and whatnot. So obviously, we're going to get release dates for most likely Death Stranding, Death Stranding, Ghost of Tsushima, and a few others. So that's more like what we're going to get on this show. So what you guys think? Hit that like button. We got 88 people.
I could do without it.
A lot of VR. Really a lot of VR.
A lot of VR, you think?
Yeah, it's going to be mostly VR, is my understanding of it. So the people with VR like me, I'm excited about it. That's pretty much all I'm really expecting is smaller VR games. Maybe, and that's it. That's what I've been told.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Okay.
So shout out to PlayStation for doing this. I mean, they had Destination PlayStation, like you said, Ryan, last month, and then here we go for something for other people to see. And MLB The Show comes out, I think, on Tuesday. I think it's Tuesday, so I'm more excited about that than this.
Very true. Very true. He said it's a live event. Well, if it's live and they're actually legit doing this, then they're gonna do. Obviously, we're gonna get the updates on the games that we've been looking forward to the most.
Maybe.
That's real. It's not really maybe. It's pretty much a guarantee. Because let's be real here. Kojima's pretty much done with Death Stranding. We're just waiting for the release date. Ghost of Tsushima, it's been speculated numerous times that game is pretty much close to done. We just don't know if it's going to be a PS5 type of game, to transition you from PS4 to 5, or we don't know anything that nature. That's where the main topic's been there. And going into the other ones, we know Days Gone's coming out in April? So yeah, that's coming out in April. And then there was one more. Dreams is already, I think, is on its way too, though. So it's true.
Yeah, Dreams is coming out in early access first too.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very true.
I think it may be one new game announcement, but I
hope so.
That's what I've been told. But it's mostly, I think, going to be VR. So they're going forward with the VR and stuff like that. So I would not expect anything major. I certainly hope people aren't chatting it up like that. And so we'll have to just wait and see, because they're releasing a new game that day. They may talk about that. Like MLB will be out on shelves.
Oh no, that's actually all him, by the way. And since he wants to do that, since this is a show, but I'm gonna do something a little different. Hold on 1 second. Y'all continue talking. Y'all can be busy. I'm gonna do something. He ain't gonna be surprised. Where is it at? Where is it at? Since this moron wants to come here and try some drama. There it is.
Now, what I can say with this in regards to everything that's going on, I mean, the future is not here just yet, people. Let's get one thing clear. The future of streaming is not here just yet. There are a lot of milestones that each company individually, even Sony itself, because I know Sony's going to follow suit with the same thing. They're all going to take a step into doing all streaming type services for their said software. This is just something that's going to be in development and in work with correlation to the game developers. That is the whole main purpose why they're giving the game developers all the free reign in order to construct these games to work flawlessly with the system. But it's just going to... Oh my God! It's gonna take it a while. That's what I wanted to put in. Oh my God, man!
No, you want attention? There you go, bro. Joey Aguilar. Shout out to Joey in the chat.
Oh my God!
There you go. You can give some attention. Anyway, moving on.
Oh God! Yeah, let's move on, man. Yo, what's good, Pablo the Third?
What's up, Pablo?
The real P3.
Let's go ahead, man. Anyway, what y'all expecting at this event, bro?
What I expect from this event, I mean, I expect game announcements and maybe some hardware leaks by any chance, if there's anything possible?
Hardware leaks?
Yeah, hardware leaks.
Doubt it. Doubt there's going to be a hardware release.
There was already a major leak.
Yeah, he lives. Yeah, he lives in Inglewood. He's a bum. Yeah.
Yeah, there was another leak today. So about PS5.
I mean, like, let's keep it 100, man. Let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it 1,000. Yeah. Everybody's anticipating the PS5. Everybody's anticipating some kind of information on it that it would benefit them to actually show it on this showcase. Yes, it would help it, but at the same time, nah. I think it wouldn't be much more appropriately done for the let's say the Sony show for later on this year. That would be the more appropriate time for it. But hey, you can always dream, man.
Yep, very, very true. Very, very true. Let's see. Everybody keeps hitting me up with this thing. Yeah, I'm recovering it, guys. Recovering it. Live stream. Anyway, what you think about it, Meds? This whole state of play.
I don't really care, man, because I mean, it's not gonna be a big deal.
I know you recover from the whole Xbox thing. You know, you still trying to get everybody back to good spirits.
Not really, man.
Hey, I don't even try. What's up, man?
The facts and the reality is what it is. You know what I mean? But I'm not expecting anything big from this, because if they had something big to show, they would have just straight up showed up to E3 as normal. But they're not. So, you know, if they're gonna show off some VR stuff, then that's nice. I don't own VR, so I don't care. But for you guys that care, that's awesome.
Yeah,
I'm over here caring.
No, listen, if you care, that's great. You know, if you like it, I love it.
Yeah, I know.
But me personally, you know, I don't care.
Oh, what are you looking forward to though, Meds? Like for this year's side of gaming? Yeah. What are you looking for? What's your key interest in this year's E3?
This year, I want to see. Honestly, I'm not excited for E3 at all.
And you want to invite Pablo? Let me know. I see you invite. You can add your perspective to this as well. It's actually kind of open chat. We just chilling today, man.
At all. Hang on.
Yeah, we're doing a laid back RGT today. So if you want in, definitely let me know. But as far as again, yeah, I agree with him though. He said you should definitely simmer those expectations. Me personally, again, I'm just expecting release dates. That's really what I'm expecting. Is release dates for the most part. Yeah. Everybody was quiet. I don't know what Craig's expecting. I guess Craig's expecting the
Ghost of Tsushima release date.
No, I'm expecting
Ghost of Tsushima release date. Again, I don't even think we'll get the Ghost of Tsushima release date. I want it. Don't get me wrong. I would love to see the Ghost.
I really want that.
Yeah, I really want the Ghost of Tsushima release date earlier than expected. But odds are we probably won't get it, because that's probably going to be the last game for PS4 to transition you into PS5. Probably.
I think that's actually going to be Death Stranding.
You think it's Death Stranding? You think they're really going to end it with?
Yeah, dude. Kojima's going to take as long as he possibly can, as long as they'll let him.
I don't know, man. I don't know. It's like, I mean, I don't know, because if it was at the start, let's say we just saw Ghost of Tsushima, right? Or not Ghost of Tsushima, Death Stranding, right? I would have believed you, because he did that with Metal Gear Solid 4. Remember that, Guns of the Patriots, where he started off the PS3 with that. So. Yeah. I'm just saying, I would have believed if you said that was the case.
I mean, it took 7 years between 4 and 5, and they say recently that they're behind schedule.
Mm-hmm. Stuff
so
like that.
I fully expect that to be the last thing.
They didn't say they were behind schedule. What they said was they stopped for a little bit because they had to do the dub, the Japanese dub, but they also confirmed that the Japanese dub for the game was done as well. So we're just waiting for that release date.
We'll see. Maybe we'll make a bet on that a little later. make a gentleman's agreement. A gentleman's bet. $1.
What we need to do is play UFC. What's up?
I mean, I'd be down for that, but you don't even play games. So what am I supposed to do?
What's up? You on PS4? I'm on PS4. Let's get that UFC.
Listen,
I already got on this.
No, I own it. I own it on Xbox, actually. So.
Unless you want me to double commit and get it on PC and then play you on the PC version.
No, you gotta play on Xbox, bro.
On Xbox? Oh my God! Why not you
man?
Hey man, that game's actually not on PC.
I'll play a game on Xbox if somebody buys me one. That's I mean, I will. I'll be happy to fire him up, but I am not. They're not getting no more of my money.
Hey, Pop, I said it to you, bro.
You know, especially now that you know, they're obsolete.
Come on, let me ask the chat. Y'all want to see a showdown between me and Meds here? Or I'm sorry, Meds the professional, if you're part of our Discord. I'm just saying, UFC showdown. Me and this fool. We can do a Khabib versus McGregor type of thing.
Check this out. Check this out, Ryan. We can fight 10 times, and if you beat me 1 time, I'll buy you a game.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's do it right now. I got on PS. Which one you got on PS4? I got. Oh, you don't have either one. So I got UFC 2 and the UFC 1 for PS4.
Oh, you got to copy UFC 3. What are we doing here, bro? What are we doing?
I have UFC 3. I never got into the UFC 3 one because I didn't like the microtransactions.
We'll talk about this later, and we'll post it up on Twitter later. Don't worry about it. I got you.
You're already doing.
I'll embarrass you in front of the community. No problem.
I'm saying because you're doing the MMA podcast with Fonz, right? So I mean, yeah.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Hey, man, let me make my announcement on my own. That was going to be part of my outro.
Yeah, there you go. Oh, you want to be your outro on that? Excuse me.
No, I'm saying that I was gonna end off the show with that.
Savage said you were a clout chaser. Hey, you gonna let him get away with that?
Wait, what?
My man Savage Grace said Med's a cloud chaser for that. Like, nah, he ain't no cloud chaser. That man just scared. You don't want these hands. That's all it is. You don't want these hands. You get choked out. I'm gonna choke you out in record time in front of y'all. I'm gonna do it.
Damn.
So
let's get the Xbox bashing out the way and talk about Cuphead.
All right, what's up? Go ahead, my brother. You have the floor. What about
Cuphead's coming to Nintendo Switch? That's a good thing. That's all. Peace out, people. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Explain that to me. How is putting something on a competitor's console a good thing?
Because they're not competitors anymore. That's not the point anymore.
Well, no, I mean that's what I'm saying. When did that happen?
Wait, say it again.
When did that happen? When did Nintendo and Microsoft stop competing?
Bro, I don't know, man. You gotta ask Uncle Phil, man. I don't know.
I don't know what.
I don't remember in 2013.
Right now, they surviving together.
That is true.
Right?
Old new slang.
Well, all right, I'm just really trying to figure out like what happened because I don't know why it's a good thing. If I walk into Chick-fil-A and I can get a rally burger, that's not good for rallies. Crazy.
But why the fuck do you care what's good for rallies? You don't work for them.
Well, I mean, I'm just simply saying this is not.
I get it. Perhaps it's not good for them, but you shouldn't be worried about that.
Oh, I'm not worried.
You should be worried about what's good for you.
What's happening here? I mean, what has happened where Microsoft is open to putting? I know it's not a first-party game, but they are open. To publishing first-party content on competing consoles. I need to answer that. That needs to be answered.
I mean, here's the thing, Craig. The point of selling your console is what, right? You want to sell a bunch of consoles for the reason of selling more games. If you can sell more games without selling more consoles, that's kind of like a shortcut, like a cheat code. Then fuck it, why not?
Well, then that's third party. You just sell games.
Yeah. They're third party. Xbox is officially third party.
Okay, I was going to ask you, do you think they're officially third party without officially being third party?
Yeah, absolutely. But the thing that they are, though, once you're putting your stuff on other places, then you're third party.
All right, well, that's what I was trying to figure out. I wonder what happened. In your opinion, what do you think happened to push Microsoft to go, quote unquote, third party?
I think they're just chasing profit. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think they care about the bragging rights of selling the most consoles. They want to make the most money.
Okay, so you think they're officially third party then?
Yeah,
Which I'm not arguing.
100%.
I'm just that's fine. I mean, I agree. Yeah, totally. I'm just trying to I just didn't know when it had happened. Like I said, I've been gone for a couple of days, so I've been praying.
What's good, Diver?
I think they changed their mind and started to go in this direction after 2015. Late 2015.
Okay.
They had their quote unquote best lineup ever, and nobody cared. So they're like, fuck it.
Yeah, that's a good point. Nobody gave two rats' asses about the best lineup in history.
It kind of flopped. So
I know there's a lot of just confusion and drama going around, especially with the Iron Lords. I know Carlos had a few things to say with David, especially with this game right here. But Crackdown 3's actually flopped very, very badly in terms of sales.
Yeah, that was unfortunate.
Very, very badly. So
shout out to King David though, man. You
Iron Lord
did a hell of a job trying to defend the game, but like I said, as always, mediocrity is the biggest letdown when it comes to gaming. Why? And why I say this is because, number one, the game has never been anything lesser than what it is.
If you want the link, I'll shoot it your way, bro. You can definitely ask that question.
Yeah.
Everybody. You want the link, Diver? Let me know. I'll shoot it your way.
Yeah, come in, John.
Yo, Carlos's views do not express the views of everybody on the RGT. I'm just gonna say that right now.
Listen, if you don't like my Xbox slander, boy, put on them two, nice little ear plugs.
Come over here. Everybody come here swinging because he gotta get ready anyway for him and feedback. He coming here swinging. Somebody need to play the Rocky Balboa music.
Diver got smoked for who? For Carlos?
Don't get me wrong. I played the game and I played it on PC. Mind you, I'm playing the game at 1440p, 60 frames a second. The game looks beautiful. Art direction, everything, color, everything looks nice. But the game at the same time doesn't feel complete. Once you beat but it doesn't feel complete. That's what I'm trying to say about the game. It doesn't feel complete enough. And that's one of the reasons why a lot of people didn't flock towards the game. Only the hardcore fans of the series will appreciate the game for what it is because they've been waiting for a proper game for Crackdown. And
no, they weren't. Nobody was checking for this. Nobody cared, bro.
Nah, the hard.
Nah, bro.
Yeah.
Nah, nobody was
checking
for this.
An Xbox game without a Microsoft account, which means right now they're working. If I remember correctly, you don't need an Xbox account for. Well, technically, he's talking about the multiplayer portion. Yeah, true.
You need an account, but you don't need to pay for it. You don't need gold.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Game and have fun.
They're working on that infrastructure to make it native for all games on PC as well.
Oh,
that's going around. That was the big thing.
All right, now that's what I wanted to ask you all. What does that mean, native? Why wouldn't it be
basically right now? As of right now, all games with the Xbox, you can't necessarily just plug in an Xbox game on a PC and it will play. Basically, all games you're playing on PC from Xbox are running through a server, which is obviously the Game Pass, right? They're working on the infrastructure to improve that. So basically, where you don't need Game Pass, you can play these games natively on PC without even having to subscribe to Game Pass.
So in other words, they're trying to take off the copyright limitations.
Much. They're opening up another market for even more profits. Remember, as of right now, profit's looking pretty good in their favor with Game Pass alone. But if they had the option for you to pay, another option for you to pay $60, and you could pay that $60 and playing on another platform, which is PC, at the highest performance, X amount of things. Again, they're just opening up avenues. They're just doing that for the other side, as opposed to have to have the service. So that's what
my Game Pass is expired, but Game Pass is not on Xbox or on PC. Not yet. I mean,
there's a little bit of implementation, but very, very little.
Yeah, I mean, there's games everywhere, whatever that's called.
Yeah, to play anywhere, like games like Gears of War 4, Crackdown. Those games, if you have Game Pass, you can play them, but there's like 7 of them.
Yeah, there's only like 7. Halo Wars 1 and 2 that I can play that on PC, but
it's very limited. It's very limited.
But my question is, do you have to have a Microsoft account to play those games?
You do, but you don't have to pay for the account.
Right, you don't have to pay for it, but you have to have a Microsoft account. So can you explain to me how is that third party?
Because it's on another platform.
No, it's not. You can play it anywhere. It's off of Microsoft account. You can't play those games unless you have a Microsoft account.
Okay, so you ever play an EA game or a Ubisoft game on console?
Yeah.
Don't you have to create an Origin account?
Yeah, Origins, Uplay.
Does that mean that they're not third-party companies?
That's their games. You can't play those games unless you go on there and play. You have to sign in and play under their accounts. To me, a third-party company is like a Ubisoft or something like that, where they just bring out the games. That's exactly what we just
said, though. But you need to have you have to have a Uplay account to play these games. even if you're playing them on console.
Yeah.
So it's the same story. It's the same exact thing.
I don't know if I have a UV count.
Yeah, you have one because you play Assassin's Creed, right, Diver? Or what kind of?
Yeah, that's when you get the points. Yeah, you get the points to that account.
Yo, Diver, I finally got a haircut, bro. So you can't cut my ass no more.
I ain't worried.
That shit off.
I ain't worried about you, bro.
We can still cut your ass. We can still cut your ass.
Right. But the fact that you actually went and cut your hair and came and told me, yeah, you got other issues, bro. You got other issues.
Voice, man. Why you gonna tell other grown ass man you got a haircut?
Nigga, it's a joke. What are you talking about? What, it affected y'all manhood that I told y'all I got a fucking haircut? Y'all sound retarded.
What's up, Pablo?
What's up? Yo, Megs, hold on. Speaking of Megs, yo, when I first met you, I thought you was that Clean Prince gaming dude, like that ass. You know what I'm talking about?
Say that again, bro. I'm sorry, you cut out completely from me.
No, you know that Clean Prince gaming dude? I thought that was you. Like when I first saw you.
Wow.
Like, yo, I really thought that was you. I was like, oh shit.
Damn, son.
No, that's a compliment. That nigga got like a lot of views on his channel.
You call it, that's a compliment.
Yeah, he got a lot of fucking subscribers.
Yeah,
no, that guy's a
that's what I was saying. But you play Diver. Now again, you play Ubisoft games, right? Play Ubisoft.
Yeah.
Games. All right. So Ubisoft games automatically are linked to a Uplay account. You automatically get those because they give you awards based to your account based on like achievements or whatever you're doing in the game. So for example, let's say you beat the story, you would get something. I don't know. You pretty much see this message all the time. You probably don't even pay attention to it, but it will say like, "Oh, you beat the game, 200 points, Uplay." And
it's just like the achievements that you would get on Xbox or PlayStation.
So is that what Xbox is gonna do with all this?
Yeah.
So they're gonna make it when you go on the phone and stuff like that. When you get that's okay.
Exactly.
Pretty much. That's
basically so you can get achievements and stuff like that, which I like, honestly.
Yeah, I like that. I must have jumped in on something I didn't understand too much of. I'm getting ready for work. But anyway,
the Cuphead situation?
Nah, see, you did like I did. You jumped in here thinking about something else. What's his name? Craig. I got a question for you.
Yes, sir.
You very excited about this Google stuff.
Oh yeah, anything Google I get excited about.
I know, but you over here saying that Xbox is dead and that they're taking over and all this stuff. Yeah. I mean, I just wanted to know, like, what did you see that I didn't see? Because all I saw them was selling us an idea. I didn't see nothing other than telling us what could be.
Right.
There was no game, so I was just kind of wondering how come you so like excited about it.
They have now shown in two different situations, at CES and now games running at 60 frames a second with high graphics. So
right, but when they were running those games, when they were letting people run those games, there was a couple hundred people. You think it's going to be a difference where there's going to be 500 million people playing?
Oh, well, that I don't know. We have to wait and see. Here's what I do know is that it works. So, and all these people who were running around, it works. I think there's a lot of independent reports. And we have to say, yeah, they had very little to no lag. Now, I don't know what they were connecting out at. So, yeah, that is true. Like I said, I mean, people need to wait and see exactly what they're going to need internet-wise. But if they're going to come out and say everything that you're doing on Xbox, you can do here at 60 frames a second. Also, Google is Microsoft's direct competitor. Bill Gates said a few years ago that Google kicked their asses in search. The reason why Microsoft got out of the phone market is because Google kicked them out. They kicked their asses, and they're about to kick their asses again. So in this cloud thing, I mean, if everybody's excited about the Azure cloud structure, Google's is better because everything in Google's better. They got the best engineers. They just do.
I think they got great engineers, and they got a lot of people moving over there from the gaming business. I get that. I mean, they like to spend their money and they spend it well. But to me, like, they just came out and said a bunch of shit that we haven't seen. You know, we hear this and we hear that, Now they're talking about 10.7 this and all this. I don't get into those numbers. I really don't know what the fuck they mean. But to me is like, I want to see something. I got to be able to see something. Don't come out on a stage and tell us, you know. And you saw the legacy on the games that he was playing. The Assassin's Creed.
Yeah,
you know,
I mean,
he's hitting the button and the dude ain't jumping and shit like that.
He had to hit that shit like 3 times.
Yeah, I know you're talking about. Yeah, I had to go
You know
back.
what I'm saying?
So the same can be said for the Xbox. The Xbox.
Right?
Cloud.
No, exactly. I'm not here to defend Xbox. I'm not here to defend Xbox. I'm just saying. I'm sorry. I gotta get ready to go, but let me just finish real quick. I'm just saying I would like to see what Microsoft's gonna bring out.
Yeah.
And see what Google's got.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then because now I was listening to your show yesterday because I'm a fan. I listen. So, but you was like, I was like, damn, what did I miss? Because you was like, man, this is the whole, like you saw some shit I didn't see. So, that's why I was like, man.
Yeah, no, he saw the servers again. This is a server, not a console, so it's running at 10.7 teraflops.
Yeah,
better.
I felt like with the messaging too, like,
let me answer him before he goes. We have independent confirmation from 2 major conferences that the technology works. So that has to be tabled. We have confirmation from Google that it is going to be the most powerful place to play your games. Okay, that's been confirmed. So what is Microsoft going to offer that Google's not going to be
powerful? You said Google?
It's 10.7 TV.
But that's not from like a console though, didn't they say it's running off of like server blades from the data centers?
The server blades are providing power.
Server blades.
Yeah, they have brutal power.
So
they're provided by AMD,
but just not on a console, basically.
Well, it's essentially a gang of consoles tied together, which then gets broadcast to you.
I kind of look at it.
AMD.
I kind of look at it like a Facebook, right? Where they got that big ass plant where all their shit is, where they store everything. That's kind of like what I see. What Google is going to be is kind of like that. But do you have to have their internet? You know what I'm saying? Do you have to have fiber optic? Do you have to? There's a lot of shit out there that hasn't been.
I hear exactly what you're saying. Yeah, very, very true. We see it all the time, even with Comcast. Comcast got good internet time, but they go out all the time for a lot.
And that's one of the biggest concerns. I'm sorry to interject.
You need to wait and see about that. But
again, this is why they said in the future, though, Craig. They said in the future we're going to try to give you 8K, 120 frames per second. That's what they want for the future.
Yeah, I do like that they're future-proof it though. That's nice.
And it works.
Yeah,
it's just a matter of them implementing it at this point. So they are. I right now, based on what we've seen, they're further ahead than Microsoft is. Now we have to wait and see just how far ahead, but they really, really are gunning to take Microsoft out of this thing, and there's a very good chance it's going to happen.
I mean, they're investing heavily in the technology. You can see that with the partnership with AMD and the actual CPU that they're actually utilizing as well. That tells you a whole lot with what they've been doing. They've been They've been taking tabs at everything. They have been studying both the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X, and they have studied everything about those 2 consoles, their weaknesses and their strongest suits, and that's how they come up with this whole integration of doing a 10.7 cloud base. But like I said, man, the physical hardware is not going anywhere.
Yeah,
it's not going to go anywhere. It's not.
It's still here.
You're still
also the thing for me is that they came out and they're going against 6-year-old technology.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so they're talking about this year they're going to come out, or next year, whenever they said. But the PlayStation's coming out, the Xbox is coming out. So do you guys think that it's going to be more powerful than 10.7?
Yeah,
they got it
by far.
The PS5 is rumored to be like 11 something.
It was like 11 to 12. So yeah, they got the.
That's why I'm not even concerned about that 10.7 because 10.7 is more than 6, but that 6 is going out the window in a year or 2. So who cares?
Exactly.
I mean, technology's forever evolving.
Exactly. So
people cannot, people, and I'm sorry to interject everybody. But people got to take into account that when announcements are made, usually it's the catchphrases that you got to catch on. You cannot assume that because they're saying this is going to be completely what the set note of everything. It's going to take some time for them to achieve the 10.7 teraflops. Like, it's not going to be automatically the first day, okay, you're going to get a 10.7 teraflop, cloud-based processing. No, it might take them a year or two to even achieve that.
It may take them one day. I mean,
it depends. It depends. It really depends on number one. Number one basis of this is the developers. Are the developers are willing to push this technology that's going to be brought to them and not put on the same excuse, oh, we don't have enough power, we don't have this, we don't have that. Because the whole convention was for the developers. It was not gamer related. It was more for the corporations and the developer themselves to actually push this onto the public. Now, the public itself, us, the consumers, everybody, you have to give your input on this. Don't just take it as, oh, we got to accept it. No, if there's anything that is latency issue based or you're having performance issues, report it.
For that, Carlos, they got pills for performance issues.
I know that, but not for.
Hey, I sell them, bro. I sell them.
Shout out to let me get this out there real quick. Shout out to Dawn. She says she's not feeling so hot, but she's with us here. Shout out to Dawn in the chat.
Hey, Dawn, thank you for joining us. Yo, Fonz, man, how you doing, brother?
What's up, Jay Fonz?
Hey, Fonzarelli, what's up, my bro?
But yeah, no, I love it. See, because I grew up in the 80s when Apple and Microsoft were just throwing haymakers at each other.
You know what I want to do on here too? I got to get his input. I know he be slacking on his videos, but OBJ, if you want a link, I'll send you a link to it. This is an open chat today. We just chilling today for.
I
think if you want it in here,
man, bring that old ass motherfucker up in here.
Come on, man, join us, OBJ.
Yo, we got
the wisdoms of the truth, my brother.
We got 107 people watching. Hit that like button for me, please. Hit that like button. Seriously, I'm just saying.
But I can smell the fear. I know people are afraid. I can sense it. And if you are quote unquote, and I'm putting that in air quotes, a Microsoft Xbox guy, you need to be very afraid.
Hell, but see again, I don't see why you say that. What is there to be afraid of? They haven't showed us nothing but an idea. That's it.
But that's the same can be said for Microsoft, bro.
He was telling us about this the other day.
Well, no, I say the same thing. I say the same thing about Microsoft too. And today come out like they said they're going to give us more information this summer, right? So you think they're going to be at E3?
Yes, I do. I'm confident.
But you know what's the thing, Diver? And I'm going to say this honestly, without being no fanboy or nothing.
Yeah.
When in business, right? In business, right? When you have a low point, which is what Microsoft is having right now, a low point, and you're looking your weakest, right? Your opponent is always going to find a direct line to take all your customers away, and they're going to show everything to ploy out all the weaknesses within your company. And that's exactly what Google did to both Sony and Microsoft. It ployed out all the weaknesses within their streamlined services.
Can you explain what weaknesses they showed that Sony had, other than them saying that
all right,
both of them together we have more power? That's all I heard.
PSN Now is not the greatest service when it comes to streaming. That is I
don't think Sony really cares about that too much, but aren't they making like 52% of all this bullshit?
And that's one of the main reasons why Google is jumping into the whole stream to pay service, because they want to capitalize on that and corner the market. Everything is about cornering your opponent to the corner and making them say, hey, listen, I'm here and I'm here to take what's mine as well. And that's how business goes, bro.
Let me ask Diver, not to interrupt you, let me ask you just a quick question. I brought this up earlier. You can always tell the way businesses react, what they're thinking. So let me ask you this, Diver. Why did within 6 hours of that announcement, why did Phil Spencer, the head of gaming at Xbox, have to come out with a video? If they aren't worried,
did he come out with a video, or did he send an email to his people and the email got leaked out?
Yeah, he came out and said, hey, look, we're gonna bring some more stuff too, but we're gonna have a big. He said something about we're gonna have a big E3. So
right, but I thought that was in the email.
That could have been, but why even send that if you ain't working?
Well, because if you work it, okay, put it like this.
I'm listening.
I'm sorry. I put your move button. I don't know what they do in big companies like that. But if it was me, that was the email that he sent out to his team. That is a booster. That is hey, check this out, guys. That was some good shit. But remember, we coming out with this. That's how I see it. You got to understand, a lot of these leaks that come out, a lot of people just look at them so crazy, not for what they are. I mean, these are business people. We can sit here and think about what the fuck's going on, but in our reality, we don't know shit.
Okay, but you said it was a booster. I think that's fair enough. Why did
let me ask him a question real quick. Like,
not sure.
My bad. Yeah, I don't want to interrupt.
If they needed, why do you think they needed boosting if they're not sure?
Because if you're a good team leader, like I work here at Chrysler and and shit like that, and you're a team leader, you got to boost your team. That's what you do. That's what makes a good leader. You know what I mean?
That's a good point right there. I see it the same way.
I don't. I sense fear, and they needed to have some good news.
Well, maybe some people within Microsoft were feeling that way, and that's exactly why Phil got to come out and be like, "Yo, relax, I got this."
No, that's fine. That's what I'm saying. I can sense fear, and I sense much fear in you.
When he means fear, he means in corporate terms that the sales is always going to be the pitch. Remember, Phil Spencer stated that he wanted to reach 2 billion players, right?
Facts. Right. Yeah, he wants to reach 2 million.
Right? Look at the catchphrases that Google is using. This is the same way as Phil Spencer. They want to reach billions of players.
They said 2 billion. They said 2 billion.
They said 2 billion, and Phil wants to do 2 billion. So when you put those two catchphrases together, what are you trying to direct? Okay, listen, we know that you want to reach 2 billion, but we have the format that will help us elevate to that 2 billion. In other words, we're gonna give the audience and the customers what they want in this way. And that's the basis of the whole 2 billion reach this, 2 billion reach that. It's just that they want to corner the market where Microsoft is most dominant at, and that is its core customer fan base.
Yeah, they're hitting them. They hit them right in their face. They said 2 billion. They said we got the most power. This is all directed at their competitor, which is Microsoft, who has a search engine called Bing. Google has a search engine called Google. Google has phones. Google has tablets like Microsoft. They are in your backyard. So now it's like, what the fuck are you going to do about it? And they're not.
And I like that. I like that, actually. I want to see what Microsoft is going to really pull out.
I agree.
They pull out everything. They got all the time in the world at E3 too.
Yeah, exactly. And that's kind of like what I know. We hear this shit every year. Oh, wait to E3.
Yeah, wait to E3.
For me,
this is a lot different.
But this is different. Yeah, this is changing the gaming world as we know it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because if they don't come out and even match what Google is giving us,
I agree with that.
They're pretty much Google's going to take over.
I'm really curious about. Remember how a lot of people were saying, or not really a lot of people, but that lady who was playing the game on the phone diver, remember how she said it was real on Twitter? And everybody
right.
It's real. Google did suffer from some latency problems during theirs, right? Like when they switched to the TV version, or not the TV, but the other laptop or the desktop, something like that, and they had a little problems, but it wasn't as severe as that. So I'm really thinking, is it?
But you gotta understand too, though, is that with this war, console war that everybody's putting on with these two systems, of course Microsoft's going to get more beef compared to Google just coming out with theirs,
Yeah, for sure.
Well, I mean, again, there's no console war at this point. I mean, if it's
this is just a service. This is a service.
Yeah, there is no war anymore.
No, I'm talking about the PlayStation and Xbox. I know there's not, but I'm talking about when it comes to YouTube and it comes to people like putting out those posts about that legacy and stuff like that. To me, I'm gonna tell you what I look at all this online shit. And this is how I explained it before. If you have a steak and the lady comes and gives you A1 sauce, ketchup, those are our options that you can use. That's all it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's it. Nothing else. If people don't like it, guess what? Don't get it. It's that simple. Stick with PlayStation. I don't think PlayStation is gonna change what they're doing is making them the most money.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
For the guys that got like PCs in here, like would y'all use this as like a main source of like gaming for y'all, or is it something like y'all would use on the side?
Not a main.
They're not gonna give up. They're not gonna give up Steam.
It's not even about Steam. It's not even about
that.
Steam. It's that Google's how do I call it? The experience is not going to be better than what I can get natively on my PC. So why would I choose it over my PC?
Well,
you can't compare 2080 Ti RTX to a.
What about
to a
people on
cloud.
consoles?
Yeah,
it's the same. It goes the same. You can't compare a hardware base. Let's say hardware based performance to software based performance, because it's two different things. The hardware computes all the raw power necessary to give you an image. The cloud, all it does is just transmits it to a fiber optic line.
That's why they showed off it running, the Stadia running on 2 versions. They showed it strictly the service with the water, and then they showed you with one running on multiple GPUs and such. That's what you're saying. Yeah. Better performance. That's what they're showing that off of. But again, all this what we saw is just a placeholder of what they want for the future. Again, and they have to build to it. That's all it is.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, I'm buying it. I'm buying that Google device, and I'll be happy with it. If I'm
now, I heard you also say that you spend $120 a month.
Who, me?
Yeah, didn't you say something like that in your video?
I don't recall. I'm not saying that
I thought you said something like that.
I said I would spend $120 a month. No, I did say that. I think I meant I would spend $120 to try to play it. But I checked with my cable company today, and I'm lucky. They gave me a nice juicy deal, and I only actually have to spend $50 a month. So again, and I can
listen, Craig. I'm gonna be hardware to the death, man.
Me too.
I don't think it's gonna catch fire when it comes out, though. I think it's gonna be like a slow burn.
Yeah, it is. I mean, usually when these streams, there was a video that was being shown not too long ago, and I subscribed to this guy a while back. I think it's Adam Wilson was the one. Adam Wilson was the one that posted up the video. Rageaholic, and he pointed out a couple of good, interesting points about the whole streaming services and why the hardware is not as good as it should have been.
Yeah,
and he pointed out one keen detail, and I remember this back a couple of years back. It was the Phantom. It was actually a server-based console, right? It was brought out to the market, and it flopped so horribly because it has so much latency. Once again, latency is going to be the biggest issue with the service, and a lot of people are not going to flock to it firsthand because you're going to get those issues. You're going to have a lot of people having certain service blackouts in the areas where where their service is at. And you're also going to have internal problems within the server itself.
Well,
a lot of maintenance
to the T-flop of 10.7.
So
it's latency, but what's the name was calling it latency, and I was like, "What the hell is he talking about?" I saw latency. Now I saw crap called latency. I'm like, "What the hell is latency? You mean latency?"
And see, for me, it would have to be the price. If it's a $20 a month thing, like a Netflix, I'll shoot it. I'll do it just to give it a shot.
But
you know what I mean?
But that's the problem. You see, a lot of people are basing it on that being cheap, and it's not going to be cheap. I'm going to tell you one of the main reasons why I don't like this at all. It is because the companies that give you your internet service, whether it be Comcast, Spectrum, Altice, that's here in New York City, whichever service that you have, right? They're going to capitalize on this, and they're going to put certain data caps on how much data you can use on a monthly basis.
I pay extra, nigga. I pay for unlimited.
I know. For those who got it, but for those people that got it and can afford it, it's not going to be a problem. But for those that cannot afford it, it's going to be a problem because at the end of the day, you're not going to be able to enjoy it.
That's the whole point. Is that look? It's going to come out, and there very well may be a lot of people who can't access it. I think that's fair enough. But people who can, I'm sitting here telling you, I sat through a podcast where people were talking about 4K textures and 6P flop. That's over with now.
That's been over with, bro.
Yeah, so it's I can now see games running in high graphical settings at 60 frames per second. Yes, and what are they going to say? It's 1080p. Well, there's still more 1080p televisions sold than 4K.
And that is very true, bro. That is very true.
I mean, they showed Doom running at 4K 60 with no problem, no lag. It's over. You know,
do they
done.
even have more than one studio though?
It doesn't matter. They can have -10 if they can come out.
What? Wait. How does that not matter though? Games is what's gonna bring people to come to your service though.
Well, okay, but P3, if they come out and they say, boy, that game over there is running at 30 frames per second, yawn. Here it is at 60 to 80 frames per second over here.
And bro, and mostly the PC enthusiasts can vouch for that. The more frames, the more fluid dynamic gaming you have.
I'm shocked at what it's like to play games at anywhere from 47 to 70 frames a second. It's when you go back to 30, and I understand it, but when you go back to 30, it's like walking in molasses.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It is. You got a lot of.
Yeah, but I'm talking about exclusives though. I'm not talking about like.
Just to go back real quick.
I give you that one. Yeah, if it's all exclusive,
to go back real quick, they also said that you don't have to buy their controller. You can use the PlayStation or the Xbox controller.
And there's another slap in the face. Who's got the most controllers out?
Yeah. And they said, what they
said. But did anybody else pick up on the pattern that was on that controller?
Yeah, it kind of is a mashup.
It looks like
between all three.
That's up, down, left, right, A, B, select, start.
Yeah.
That's Contra.
Yeah,
I want to know what that means.
I wonder who they're really gunning for now.
Yo, watch that exclusively like some Contra type game or some shit.
Though they kind of lost me a little bit in the conference though when they said that you can ask the assistant. You know what I'm talking about, Diver? Where you hit the little assistant button.
That's the game journalist.
They lost me with the controller there because he said, I forgot the name of it. I guess Alexa, right? He said Alexa.
No, hey Google. This is Hey Google.
Yeah, it's not gonna be Alexa fool.
He called the damn control. He was talking to the control and he asked for help in getting past a stage in Tomb Raider. Remember that? And he couldn't get past the puzzle, and the damn console showed him the way of beating the damn game. I'm like,
because of the rest.
I think that's whack, but I think it's gonna come in real handy for people who like to chase like trophies and achievements.
Yeah, right.
It's gonna be real helpful for stuff.
And it's gonna come for the people that don't want to take the time to play the game and just want to.
But that's not the purpose.
Yeah, but so
you got to understand. There's the as what you call real gamers, we're getting a lot of these millennium babies or whatever you want to call their asses that are taking over. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They don't. I mean, a lot of people don't understand the struggle of a turtle biting you on your ass, and you got to do the whole thing over again. You know what I mean? They don't understand that shit.
What do you mean? Did a turtle bite you on your ass?
Yo, if anybody played Bloodborne, they could attest. If anybody
played Mario Brothers,
I'm ready to go back into the damn Bloodborne world because Sekiro. I don't know about y'all.
Well,
Sekiro looked crazy.
Hey, I started playing that game just now before I jumped on with you. I had to get off. Man, I had to sit there and call somebody and ask them how you collect these fucking coins. Like, why can't you just walk over the body like any other game and they go to you? I got to sit there and hold a button down. Like, what the fuck?
Yo, you can't farm anymore on that game like the other ones.
No, I don't think you can do farming.
You can't assassinate people from the bushes though.
So it's just straight up skill at that point, like to fight the bosses. Oh shit.
It's gonna be lit, bro. That's all I gotta say. You gotta
have to learn how to parry, nigga. That's what you gotta do. That's what it is with this.
Yeah, I saw that.
You move one step the wrong way, you getting your shit cut.
Yo, the gameplay was fire though. I'm not even gonna lie.
It should start coming off.
Oh man, that's crazy.
All right, well check this out. I appreciate you guys letting me go. I'm about to jump on this highway. It's gonna get noisy and shit, but
be careful.
I'll be listening though. So y'all motherfuckers don't be talking shit because I come back.
You come back anytime, man.
Anytime, Diver. Anytime. Job to Diver.
All right, my brothers. Hey, you guys have a good one. I'll talk to you guys later.
Yo,
now that he left, let's talk shit about him.
Shout out to Diver. Oh man, y'all crazy. So I guess the point is pretty loud and clear. All of you guys are against streaming. All of you are against it.
No,
I mean,
fine
I'm not
with
like against it, but like I
Y'all
don't
don't want
want
it
it to
now.
be a main source of like gaming. I'd rather prefer they push it as a secondary option. I don't want it to be like a main source of gaming and shit.
Well, Sony is. I mean,
Okay.
if you're in the Sony ecosystem, it will be a secondary thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
exactly.
PlayStation now.
Yeah, but Microsoft again, I'm more interested in why Microsoft all of a sudden just started saying, "Oh, we're open to publishing games on competitors' platforms. We're gonna start pushing streaming." That to me, because I always like to ask why on my podcast. So why did all of a sudden start happening?
I can tell you why.
No, I'm glad.
Nobody's buying the games. That's why. So like they want to put it on
had
other
the
platforms.
conversation like a half hour ago. We need to have it again.
No. We don't have to do that again. I mean, like, they want no more smoke. Is that what the
as the kids say?
That's what the kids say. So that's fine. That actually makes sense. Hey, look, we can't compete, so let's just put our games everywhere. Fair enough. That actually does make sense. So I asked you, were they third party? In your opinion, you said yes. So you're in the same camp with like a next gen 720 and stuff like. Who said that he looks at them as third party? And I'm like, okay, that makes sense. If you're going to say that they said no mas, that does make sense.
Essentially, think of it as if EA had their own console.
Okay.
Like they're going to put their games on there, but they're still going to put their games on Xbox and PlayStation. It's just that if you want to play on that EA console, you can if you want to. That's basically what Xbox and Microsoft are telling, the gamer. Listen, the Xbox is here for you if you want it. If you don't, that's cool. You can still play our games here, there. You can stream them on your toaster. It's all good.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, I don't mind that. I love the arrogance of, well, Sony's got to do it too. That's like you're taking the train home. And
well, I don't think that Sony's got to do it too. And
I know you don't, but you hear that a whole lot.
Oh yeah, you hear that, yeah.
It's like
I mean, eventually that's what's gonna happen.
The thing is, I think they will do it, but not because they're like forced by Microsoft, because Microsoft's gonna start like kicking their ass or anything, but simply because it's just gonna start becoming the norm. Like the best, most hottest artist in the streets could put out an album. I don't know, Travis Scott, and he's gonna sell what, like maybe 10,000 copies physical. Nobody's checking for that. You're gonna stream it on Spotify.
Yeah, that's about.
I don't know
that
what
is true.
All right, fair enough.
And that's not how it is now, but I think in time, eventually, sure, yeah. Like there's still people out there that buy vinyl records. Why? Because that's just they love it. You know what I'm saying?
Vinyl is
the option is still available for them, but that's what a physical game disc is going to be like. Basically, in like 10 years, 15 years, it's going to be like a vinyl record.
Well, records sound better than CDs. That first print, that's cleaner than a CD.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And people are going to say, "Oh, this physical copy is way better than streaming it," so I want it.
I understand. No. I understand what people are saying. I just, it just sounds like it's like that Peanuts cartoon, Linus and his blue blanket, the Xbox community saying Sony's got to do it too. That's like their security blanket. They Sony knows how to make money without having to do this. Not that they won't do it, but like I said earlier, Sony knows.
In the near future, Sony is going to invest into it. Like, what people got to understand, right? All of these companies, Sony, Nintendo, Microsoft, even now Google, Amazon, whoever joins in the mix with this whole stream as a pay service kind of situation, they're going to go converse with each other, seek out each other ideas and intuition, and hey, listen, I need feedback from you. I need feedback from this. What do you think about this? As we speak right now, what we're projecting to everybody in the audience right now is the same thing that these companies do to one another. They converse with one another. They talk about the ideas. Both Phil Spencer and even the head of Google talk to each other on a regular basis. Yes, that they're competitors to each other, but that doesn't mean that they have to act like enemies, because they all share the same ideas and ideologies every now and then.
Right. Yeah, he even said at GDC he was talking to like a group of people from like different companies and shit, I think.
Yeah. And Amazon is talking to Sony right now. I think it's more over the movies to try to move some of Sony's movies to stream. But don't be shocked.
What I'm more interested in, and I'm surprised none of y'all are talking about this too, though. Okay, y'all saw when he was demonstrating the Assassin's Creed demo?
Yeah.
He immediately fired it up from the actual trailer. Like he went from access, something like that, and then immediately started up. And then they transitioned to another one where somebody was playing it. So, for example, let's say me and Meds was playing UFC, right? And I beat Meds, and Meds was like, "Oh, I gotta go to bed. I got work tomorrow, right?" Somebody can watch the stream and hit join and kind of like join session through the stream.
That's crazy.
All this stuff that they were showing, I'm like, again, this is stuff right here. It's going to take a while for this to become a reality.
Yeah, that's the stuff that they show you, the promotional. You know, it's like that picture of the Big Mac that looks all nice.
Yeah, and then you get it.
Like,
and then when you get that shit all
just
fucked up,
like that, you know, it looks all seamless and cool when you see it in the ad, but you try to do it at home, it's going to be all finicky and wonky.
It's just the same thing that Xbox. It's just the same thing that Xbox threw at people when they first presented the Xbox One. They showed all the gimmicks, they showed all the features, they showed everything.
Yeah.
But the thing is that did it came into fruition? Did it actually, invoke that incentive for the person? And it really didn't. And I think that them showing this and then showing the little features that the controller does and all the features that the actual stream-based gaming does, it's beneficial, but it's not a selling point for me at all. It doesn't really captivate me to say, okay, I'm gonna invest into this. I'm just gonna wait it out. Like me personally, I'm not telling everybody to do the same thing. If you want to try it out, try it out. If not, whatever. But me personally, I'm gonna stick with what works. My console, my physical hardware, and if I can download something digitally, which I already do anyways, I will play it digitally, but I'm not gonna stream it because it's not for me.
Yeah, I feel like going that route, you're gonna lose a lot of ownership over your games. Like, do people really want that? Like, I don't think a lot of people want that.
That's
but the thing is that the sense of ownership.
Yeah, we
physical.
Much, I don't know if Pablo was there on Scumcast where Meds I think knows about it because it went viral on Scumcast. But in terms of ownership and streaming, rest in peace to my homie.
I saw that shit. I know you're talking about. I don't remember the whole thing, but
no, but he had a point. Like, I guess he didn't.
He had a point, but he got
the correct way. But he does have
ownership. Yeah, he
didn't know. Also, I'm like, if you're not online, your Xbox doesn't work. But the disc is simply a license, really. It's kind of like a key.
Yeah, but you don't need the internet to turn that key.
No,
on.
Absolutely.
That's what he was getting mixed up. See, what he's getting mixed up with is the streaming only future. See, in streaming / digital only futures, when you buy a game on the store, you basically do just have a license. You don't physically own it, meaning that you need the internet to fire it up. For example, I can't fire Max Payne up on my PC without the internet. Can't fire it up. And I
think the thing that he was saying though, like he was like saying some shit about like what if he was throwing a lot of hypotheticals and shit, saying like, what if like Microsoft like went out or some shit? Like he was saying a lot of stuff like that.
If Microsoft went out and they were all streaming and digital, right, which is what they want, then basically all the games you had will not work because they'll be removed from their service unless you bought a torrent of it, right, and you have it on there. Then fine. But for majority of the games, they will not work. But if it's on disc, you don't have this issue. Hence why PS2 games still work, PS3 games work.
No, but he did make a good point though, because a lot of games these days come with like huge day one patches that completely change the game. Once these servers are shut off from these consoles and you want to pop in a game like 20 years later, you're going to be missing the day one patch unless you downloaded it 20 years ago and it's still there.
You need the day one patch though for these games though. 99%
again?
Like just like Spider-Man for the PS4. Yeah, I remember Spider-Man when he came out. People were saying downgrades, all that. You didn't really need the day one patch to fire.
No, I'm not saying it's not every game. But some games need that day one patch.
Like if the game doesn't run good.
Yeah.
For example, the Bloodborne loading times patch that made the game way better.
Yeah. I remember
that. That's not going to be available to you if you want to play Bloodborne in the future.
You remember that?
He right.
What was it, 20 gig or no? Was it like 10 gig patch or something like that?
It was huge. I remember.
Yeah, he actually has a good point because I got Doom the other day for my Switch, and before I downloaded the patch, that shit was running like straight ass, and then when I downloaded it, it was like way better. So he got a point. Yeah.
Some games are going to be just fine without the day one patch because some games
don't
actually
need it.
ship out done. But
what I don't understand though, y'all remember Red Dead 2, right? Obviously, Red Dead 2 was here. Now, Red Dead 2 by default is like 100 gigs, but it also had a day one patch. Why?
Dude, I don't know. The thing is that they like to make the game, put it on disc, ship it out to retailers, and then in the 2 weeks that the thing is sitting in a retailer's back warehouse, they're still working on the game. And then they'll just whatever work they did in that 2 weeks, they push it out to you in a day one patch.
Yeah, what's the name had a day one patch too, if I remember correctly. That other game that came out, it was GTA. GTA had a day one patch, which was shocking as well. So I don't know, man. Like one thing is for certain, going into next generation, these new consoles, we need bigger hard drives. That we need
100%.
It needs to be bigger hard drive.
1 terabyte, that shit is
1
trash.
terabyte is nothing. It might sound good on paper until you actually see your first game. Remember how when we first saw 1 terabyte was fine for PS4 because we saw Resogun and all that. It was like, oh, that's good because Resogun is cheap. It got much. Soon as we got Infamous Second Son, it said 20 gigs. Everybody's like, okay, that's not
that
bad.
shit was OD.
But as soon as after what was it? After Infamous Second Son, we got what's the name? What's that game called? The Order 1886, and that's when people's jaws started to drop. They was like 40 gigs for this.
The game
and you gotta also think about it too.
For this, and then people started adding it up. Like, okay, maybe
4K textures after that, man.
Oh yeah, that's true. And you got to think about it too. When they slapped that 1 terabyte on the box and shit for the PS4 and like Xbox One systems, you got to think about the updates you got to download and shit too. So it's not really 1 terabyte.
Yeah, and it's not even 1 terabyte off the rip.
And let's reach back to another point too. Death Stranding. Now, Death Stranding, we don't even know the size of Death Stranding, but I can tell you right now, as someone who remembers this very vividly, when he first booted up Metal Gear
Solid 4.
Yeah, you remember that joint when you fired?
Yeah, you had to wait like an hour while it was installing.
What the
bro, that was the longest wait for me to play a game, bro.
Sitting there watching.
I remember my friend brought that shit over, and we were waiting there for like an hour.
We were waiting, like what is taking so long? My man really just smoking a cigarette.
Yep.
Like, why am I waiting for this to install?
That's what happens when you make a game that's like 80% movie.
Oh shit! Yo, some people gonna get triggered by that.
You got jokes,
huh? I like that game, but it has a 45-minute cutscene in it.
It does.
It's just a fact.
No, real talk though, it does. It is. It pretty much is like an ongoing movie. It doesn't stop. You play a little bit of 5-minute gameplay with a 90-minute cutscene every 5
minutes. Break. They talking about Quantum Break? That's not
Metal Gear Solid 4.
No. Yo, Quantum Break don't compare to Metal Gear.
Had legitimate TV shows in between playing like.
Yeah, that was a TV show.
Metal Gear.
Quantum Break was kind of low key underrated though to me. Like I felt like
I think so too. I think the game gets shit on for no reason.
Say that was my fault that the Xbox.
You got a sequel coming regardless, though. If you think about it, a sequel is coming for Quantum Break.
It's Control.
It's called Control.
Yeah, that shit looks fire.
Yeah, and that comes out in August around my birthday. So you all know what to do with that PayPal in August, people. Hit that up.
Shit, fucking hit my PayPal too. Fuck.
Yeah, I mean, I need that control. So this is I like.
What else happened in gaming this week?
Cuphead to Switch. Did y'all talk about that?
Let's talk about that, Meds. Let's get this guy to this one.
Okay.
All right, so Quantic Dreams has come out and stated that Detroit Become Human, what was it, Beyond Two Souls, and Heavy Rain are going to the Epic Store.
Oh.
They're going
can I say something real quick?
Because now I get to play these games.
You ain't gonna play this.
What do you mean?
Why we gotta take the L, man?
You hear this?
Wait, we ponies gotta take the L.
Hold on. Why wouldn't I play these games? Why wouldn't I play these games?
He said he's going to play.
Because you got a PS4 and now you want to play it on PC. Hypocrite.
Wait. But I never said I never wanted to play these games on PS4.
You never, because no. If you really wanted to play these games, you would have played them by now.
No, because if I want to play in their real glory.
It was funny though. It was funny though, because on Twitter, like everybody was making fun of Xbox fanboys and shit, talking about Cuphead coming on Switch, and then like this shit came out like right after. That shit was just hilarious.
Yeah, but then all the PlayStation guys were like, who cares?
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
I really don't.
Funny.
Me personally, I really didn't really take it to heart. Number one reasons why, because it happens. There's been plenty of PlayStation 1 and PlayStation 2 games that have been ported to PC. Mm-hmm. There has been plenty of games. There has been plenty of games from PC that are being ported to console. So it goes vice versa. The thing is, these companies are gonna go and look out for the better profit for themselves. It doesn't matter what platform they jump off to and how they do it. And I'm all for it. Like, do what you need to do in order to make the games more appealing to everybody, not just PlayStation owners, because that's at the end of the day, I'm a gamer by choice and not by trend.
Yeah.
Well,
I mean,
shout out to Bachelor. Bachelor been trying his hardest to show everybody. He been trying his hardest with this.
Yo, it's unfortunate that they're only on Epic though. It's very unfortunate.
Yeah, that's
I'm not gonna buy them.
Sucks.
I'm not gonna buy those games now. Fuck that.
Wait, so why does everybody hate Epic? I don't really know.
I'm not gonna get into it, bro. This is.
Well, I mean, when somebody explain to me what's the difference between this and Bloodborne going to PC or No Man's Sky going to PC, because Quantic Dream is not a first-party studio. And all these third-party studios,
people thought they were.
They just say that to put salt on the wound, so it doesn't seem like it really hurt them that bad.
Exactly. Like, if you know the full story of Quantic, this is goes to show that these people never supported Quantic Dream's games or never knew anything about Quantic Dreams. Quantic Dream was always a free agent. They just worked with Sony, and Sony gave them the resources to make their games. That's it.
Yeah, they were just Sony. They had a publisher relationship with them.
That's it.
Yeah.
Hey, we believe in your vision. We like your style of games. Here's a good budget. They basically made them exclusive for Sony. Like, hey, this.
And it actually benefited Quantic. In all reality, it actually benefited Quantic Dreams. You know why? Because now they're more known than what they were when they began with PCs. Now they are more attracting.
I gotta ask that fans. You said Bloodborne is native. I can run Bloodborne natively on PC, or is that on PlayStation?
No, that's on PS now.
I'm not saying I'm right now.
But guys, that's what I'm trying to say. This is
you said Bloodborne is native.
But I'm trying to still
natively on PC, or is that on PlayStation?
No, that's on PS.
I mean, Sony on the studio. Why is this a big deal?
It's not a big deal. Nobody cares. I don't care. Who cares?
Yeah, I mean, I'm about to say. I just understood that. I mean, Cuphead being put on a competing platform, and I know like
that's a big L.
A bigger deal because
but Detroit's not a big L though.
That was a big L.
I don't understand how you're saying that one game going to another platform is a big L, but 3 games going to another platform is nothing.
Well,
how does that make sense, sir?
Yeah, that don't make sense, Craig.
No,
you looking spooky right now.
Simple. Tell me in 2013 when Microsoft walked out on stage, they said they're going to publish games to competing platforms.
Yeah.
Whereas that Sony the only games Sony has that are not on other are first party games.
Okay, but Cuphead's not a first party game. It was made by an indie dev studio.
I didn't say it's not Cuphead. I mean, and
that's a fact.
It is Microsoft that has publicly come out and said we are open to putting games.
Okay, so how is that an L then? You're still not making any sense, sir.
Yeah, more people get to play, so everybody wins.
No.
Oh, he's talking about the buttery simps that were always talking about the greatness of Xbox gaming.
What?
I gotta agree with something that somebody said online. Why did socialism take over games?
Shout out to
when did social? Wow, how is it social?
Wait, what?
Go on. Read the super chat for the homie.
Yeah, shout out to RDL Matador, my brother. Sony owns Bloodborne 100%, so no PC ports.
Well, Sony, that is owned though, but that was published not by. That's a third party studio, right?
Yeah, that's also a third party game technically. So
they don't own that. I mean, look, dog game going to. Like if they were to say here's such and such native on PC, I don't know what was it, Lost Legacy. If they were
Bonds,
Craig,
Bonds, what's up with that hat, man?
Oh, bro,
it's all about you Fugle it.
It's all about that Fugle life, all right? Google's coming through, and I'm ready.
Oh my God, no, I like this.
Oh, shit, we got a Stadia fan.
This Google style. Look at this shit.
Hey, bro, you know, I got to fanboy it up for Google. Can't wait for them.
Damn right.
Oh God, man, this is hilarious.
Oh Lord.
What's up?
Hey, I just want to say I'm excited for y'all podcast, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, man. Let's talk some MMA, baby.
Yeah.
So here's the thing, Craig. With Cuphead and Ori, those are both third-party studios as well.
Yeah.
There's really no difference there. They're both going to different platforms, and it is what it is. You're losing exclusives just like Microsoft. It's not a big deal.
it's not. But Ori was on. Isn't the other Ori on PC?
Yeah, it's not a big deal.
So it's never been on one platform. If you're talking about Ori and the Blind Forest, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and Sony, I mean, look, Bloodborne is playable on PC. So is Nier Automata. So is No Man's Sky. So,
to be honest, I'm happy for Quantic Dream. I'm happy for the company that makes Cuphead. They're going to be making more money. Yeah. It's good for them. Good for the developers.
I agree. That's what I'm saying. I don't know why this is such a big deal. It's a third party.
The thing is, it's not.
You know,
it's not. But neither is Cuphead going.
I don't disagree. Well, I slightly disagree with that because
it was already on other platforms. Like,
it was.
Yeah, wasn't Heavy Rain on PC before?
No. I'm talking about Cuphead. Cuphead was already on PC. So like,
that's true.
In 2013, man, you tell me when Microsoft walked out on stage.
Why are we talking about 2013? It's 2019, bro.
Xbox.
But it's 2019. Why are we talking about 2013 though?
Because this was not their original vision.
Who cares about that? That's out the window.
I'm saying, what happened?
In your heart, Craig. Get him,
bro. You know what, Craig? Why do you always ask questions you know the answers to? You know the answers to these questions, bro.
Because Craig likes to put on the biscuits, bro.
You like your biscuits buttery, man.
What happened to the Oracle, man?
Yeah, I want a biscuit right now. Shit.
Everything was going
to Oracle.
You know what happened?
Listen, bro, they fucked up. Nobody liked it.
There we
go. You know what? You like hearing people say that. That's the thing.
Well, yeah, I like putting.
Craig, Microsoft fucked up, bro. They in a bad state.
They did.
There you go, bro.
Yeah,
Microsoft's gonna be
I'm gonna DM that to you every day too.
Hey, it's all about the Fugle, man. It's all about the Fugle.
It's all about the Fugle.
Can we just talk about how great Google is and how they're going to dominate next generation?
Hell
yeah. Yo, Google looking a little spooky right now. I don't even know the price of that thing yet.
Here's the thing. While everybody's talking about you don't know the price of that thing, there is no thing. It's a service. It's a cloud service. So you're going to be paying for it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the service of it.
That's it.
Well, but see, I was told.
What you think? You missed that important question. What did you think about that? The scrub button, where you basically push it and basically on how to pass a level.
I like that. That's gonna be the catchphrase for that.
Scrub button. You push the button and it tells you the solution to the damn traps and damn mazes and shit. Like, what you think about that, Fon?
I like it. I love it.
I don't know, but right now I'm playing that Sekiro, and there's times where I'm like, "Fuck, I wish there was a scrub."
Yeah, I got to fire mine up. I got mine too.
But nah, it's pretty tough, this game. But anyway, it's funny about that whole Google thing though, because people right now are like either going out their minds for it or just the total opposite, and hate on it. And I'm somewhere in the middle. Like for me, streaming will never become my main source of gaming. It's definitely one of those things I may dabble with here and there, depending on the situation. But man, that's probably going to come more from Microsoft than anything, though, because I don't think I'll be buying into what Google's offering as a separate service. It's just
you already saw what happened though last time when somebody tried to go all streaming on Scumcast. You think you already know what happened there?
Well, and this is the thing. What I try to tell people all the time is, we're at the mercy of our ISPs. It's not about what they're offering, because there was people that were saying that they tried the Project Stream from Google, and they were only getting 720p 30 frames a second because of their internet. So all this talk about 4K HDR, I'm just laughing, going, we'll see.
Yeah, there's no
exactly.
The service providers we got now are not even going to upgrade that shit.
You can have as many teraflops as you want, but if my internet can't get that to me, it doesn't matter.
And that's what I kept on saying. Like, is the catchphrases that people are not paying attention to. They're going by with the whole, it's going to be 4K 60. Look at the catchphrase 4K 60. Yeah. It is dependent on your internet service.
When they say 8K though, 120 frames per second is the.
I laugh.
Oh, did you guys hear about? Did you hear about the testing though? People were testing Doom on the floor there, and they were saying there was so much lag they couldn't even shoot stuff.
Oh wow! See?
They were talking shit.
We're not there yet. We're not there yet. So maybe Microsoft's joint they showed, maybe it was real funds. hypothetically, it could have been real. They just probably suffering the same thing.
I still don't think it was real because the buttons weren't matching up with what was going on. Even if there was latency involved, it wasn't. Like with with Google, you could actually see he was trying to jump, and it just took a few seconds before it activated.
Very true. Very, very
true.
So,
I think it's different scenarios there, but at the end of the day, streaming services will never compete with native hardware. I don't give a fuck what you're going to try to sell me. It's never going to compete on the same level.
Facts.
Yo, that's a fact. Yo, I could barely get Netflix working. I be buffering on that shit every other day. They think I'm gonna be able to run
and that's one of the things that people don't understand. Like, even with a 4K 120 frames per second movie, you still get lag.
Yeah.
What makes you think you're gonna push 8K 120?
Not only that, but
the data happens when Google Fiber, and unless that's what Google's plan.
Exactly.
They're have Google Fiber everywhere at some point, but right now and
that's another catchphrase too,
and
bro.
Net neutrality doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So, you remember a while back, people got in trouble because they were throttling people's internet speeds because they were using Netflix too much.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what makes you think your ISP is gonna say, "Yo, this dude's using up all our bandwidth"? Check that dude right now.
Hey, bro,
4K 60 goes down to 720 30.
Look, I can give you a prime example. I have Comcast, and I stream all my TV, bro. I have streaming TV apps and stuff. And before net neutrality was repealed, I had no issues, no buffering. As soon as it was repealed, I started getting issues. I had to buy a VPN to mask my shit,
right,
just to get it to stop buffering. But that's an extra $40 I had to spend on a VPN.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they got us by the balls, and that's why I say we're at the mercy of our own ISPs. It doesn't matter what these companies try to sell you, be it xCloud, Google. I don't give a fuck how many servers you have. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it matters. Your internet matters. That's all. That's it.
Yo, that's true, because I noticed when I'm gaming for a long period of time, I noticed that my download speed starts to go down, and I start lagging a lot more if I'm playing for long periods of time. So
because I don't think this is gonna work. You're set by the limitations of your own network provider. It doesn't matter how much you try to emphasize that we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. The companies that give you your servers are gonna take advantage of the situation, just like how these companies take advantage of people's with the microtransactions and the loot boxes and all this other bull crap. They're gonna try to take advantage of people's pockets with the data limitations. And that's one thing that people really have to start realizing. If you want these games to not buffer as much, then repeal net neutrality. Go out and do your part and say, you know what? I pay for my services. You should not put no limitations to what I can do.
Yeah. It's all like a setup to make us pay more in the long run. So it seems like.
Yeah.
I'm ready. I'm ready for the 1080p 60. Because again, I was told that 6 teraflops and 4K textures was the end all, the be all, and that nothing else mattered. And so now we got 10.7 T-flops of pure Google power. I can sense the fear. So, but I just think everybody needs to calm down. And when you're able to play your games at 60 frames a second, you'll be like, damn, this is a big change.
Yeah, you got 10.7 T-flops of server power. Not native hardware power. There's a big difference.
No.
Exactly. I think that's what a lot of people
don't say it with the ER. Say it with the AH. Power.
Yeah.
Power. Because
at the end of the day, look, I this is always going to be a secondary thing for people. Maybe some casuals out there will only play a streaming service. I don't know. I could see it being done more on a mobile device.
If it's pushed properly, they'll probably try it out and dib and dab in it, Fonz, and they'll probably try. You know how casuals are. They'll see like, I've been wanting to try this new feature or thing that I saw constantly on TV, and they probably just jump on it like that. So yeah.
I was upset though because I was expecting, them to drop a traditional console as well as their streaming service. Yeah. So I was expecting to see some hardware, and then I got nothing. I got a controller.
We may get that, Fonz.
All in.
People think this is like Steve Jobs announcing the first iPhone. It's not going to be like that. This is still 10 years in the making.
This is the first iteration. This is going to be the trash iteration.
They should have went the safe route though. Like this been safe. A console first, or had this on the side with the console. I'm just saying.
Exactly.
I don't think the console is safe.
That's what I was hoping for, man.
Nah, I think the console is safe because this is Google. Google can lose on a damn console. They ain't taking no hit on no console. They can.
Yeah, but if the goal is eventually to switch to streaming anyway, just cut that half step out. You know.
True, but I mean,
to put somebody out of business.
Yeah.
You take them out, and this was a hard decapitation strike at Microsoft, xCloud, whatever you want to call it.
I
think you're going to be sorely disappointed.
Here's the thing: I disagree with that being a decapitation of Microsoft, because in all reality, they showed nothing. They showed nothing to us at all, but some latency. That's it. They showed me some latency on Odyssey, and then I got news stories of people having trouble playing Doom on the show floor. So that tells me right there, they're not even ready, bro. Like this whole xCloud thing, again, I've never been high on it or anything, but look, if they want to push it as an option, go ahead. If you can make some money on it, if you realistically can, by all means, go ahead and do that. But don't stop making your consoles, because that's the bread and butter. That's where people want to play their games. Most of us, anyway. That's what we want. We want native hardware.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
That's a fact.
Yeah, definitely. This shit's man. I don't know what to say, man. I don't know what to say. It's all over the place right now. One thing I will say, I guess I'll just ask this question and then we'll just shut it down. What do you guys are expecting from Microsoft? Like what can they show at E3? Because remember, the spotlight's on them. I know Fonz knows this too.
I do not want them to spend more than 15 minutes max on xCloud. Please do not show me a half an hour or an hour of xCloud. I want to see games, damn it. That's all I want to see. Fuck your cloud, bro. I don't want to see that shit.
Because remember, they got a lot of opportunity for showroom space for one, and also his show because EA's not there.
And realistically, we know they're going to show xCloud. They're going to pimp that, but
because Phil took offense to the show. He took offense to Google. Basically, it was like, oh, well, this is our future too. We've been wanting to do that for we been knew the industry was going this direction. I'm like, really, Phil? How come your demo wasn't on par with theirs in terms of what you had, ready? So yeah, that's a good question.
One thing that I want to see, and I'm sorry to interrupt anybody that wanted to go, but one thing that I want to see is the actual studios bring out or announce anything that is being done for next generation. Not this whole, we're still working on this, we're still working on that. Just show at least a little bit of a tech demo presentation. That would give me some kind of assurance that next gen is not going to be the same way as it was this gen. That we're going to have to naysay so much about the Xbox gaming studios. We want to see pure quality, in your face. Yo, we back in here and we doing this the right way for the gamers instead of this whole stream to play bullshit service. Like, let's go Xbox, get your A game together, plain and simple.
Yo, something I want to see from them, or something I think is going to happen, I think they're going to announce Halo for Switch. And the reason why, I think, is because this partnership that they've been having with Nintendo so far, I think it makes sense. And I don't know if it'll be in the form of a collection like how it is on Xbox One, but I think they're going to release it one by one and shit. Because those are 360 games at the end of the day, so it could run on the Switch technically. I don't know about 5.
We're talking about Halo at 480p. That's nice.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, man. I don't know, but I think it's possible. I think they could run it pretty decently on the Switch.
Oh, yeah, 720. 720
running on the Switch.
Because there was a rumor going around that there was an impossible game coming to Switch, and the guy said it was like Mario coming to PlayStation or some shit. So I don't know. I think it could be that.
No, they were talking about impossible game. They were talking about Cuphead, bro. Because it's
is Cuphead really impossible though?
Nah, it's one of those games that
perfect game for the Switch. I'll tell you that much. Cuphead, it's perfect game.
Cuphead is a good ass game, bro.
Yeah, it's a good ass game for Switch. So yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't think it matters what they do because everything they show is going to be available somewhere else.
I want to see this network though, because remember Microsoft's making Nintendo's networks. I want to see how that's looking and how they're doing that. Are they getting?
Good point.
I gotta say though, Craig, like just because let's say their game is on a PC, it doesn't matter to me. I'm a console gamer, so if they show a really good exclusive game, I'm gonna get the console because that's where I want to play. I don't want to play on PC. I don't want to buy a $1,500 PC just to run the game at 4K 60. You know, it's just that's not for me.
Oh no, I understand that, but it's going to be available somewhere else, whether you play it 4K or 1080.
But console dudes don't care about that. We don't care about PC.
I get that. Trust me, I totally understand. But
nah, Vons is that Craig has already tasted the power of the PC. So,
well, no, it's not even that. It doesn't matter what the console guys like. That's fine or don't like. This is still happening. So
no. I get that, but at the same time, you're like, well, it doesn't matter. It does matter. It matters to me and a lot of other people that just game on console. Matters to me.
I mean, I understand what you're saying, but at the end of the day, it will be available somewhere else. So you can watch a PC update at E3, which I think they're supposed to have, and you'll see a lot of the same games. Not all the same games.
I don't give a shit. I really.
Yeah. Damn. My God.
PC, they're their own fucking league, man. Like, of course, PC will always play these games better, but at the end of the day, I don't care. Like, I really don't like playing on a PC. Just don't like it.
When do you think you'll ever consider jumping officially to PC?
Never.
He's never going to do it, man. You don't hear what this man is saying?
I forgot we did have that conversation.
And there's so many of us that
there's a lot of people like that. Yeah, fine.
Yeah. No, because I remember we had a conversation like that. He did say he would even consider buying a $600 console if he could do everything.
That's what I like powerful. I like powerful hardware when it comes to consoles because I like the fact that they're all kind of on an equal playing field, so to speak. They all have the same specs and everything. The inside, the internals, it's all the same when you buy an Xbox One or a PlayStation 4 Pro, whatever. It's all the same, right? So it's optimized for that, and you don't have to deal with bullshit with different parts in your PC. Oh well, the Nvidia will run this game better, but an AMD fucking GPU will run that game better. Like I don't want to mess with any of that. I don't want to mess with all these settings and shit. Like I just like the ease of use of a console. Just plug and play. Let me play.
One thing I can tell you about that, me and Meds can definitely interject here and tell you when it comes to games on PC, you don't necessarily have to tinker with the settings. You can just press one button. That's
you don't have to. No, you don't have to. But I look
overstated.
I've been on. But I've been on PC, and I used to, I used to tinker all the time. I'm that type of person, so I would sit there and mess with it.
So really, you just can't trust
do
yourself.
So you got to do it. Nah, I can't do it because I want to play it at the best possible, settings, and I'm going to be sitting there messing with that more than I am playing the fucking game.
There is a one-click button that'll do that for you.
Yeah, you can click high. Yeah. You can click high, medium, or low.
Or Nvidia could do it for you, but I ain't gonna try to convince you, man. You like your console.
Yeah, he likes consoles.
You play wherever you want to play.
I'm a console,
but they all benchmark on there. You go down to the benchmark, and it just sets it up for you.
Yeah,
and then you move on. But no, I get it. I prefer playing on console. But if you're gonna fry, put a cheeseburger in front of me, and I can go anywhere to get it, it just loses its flavor.
If you have a PC, then I could see your thought process on it. Like you don't have to have an Xbox because you have a PC. That makes a lot of sense. But at the end of the day, I don't have a PC, and I don't care to have a PC to play games. So it's just for me, it's a no brainer. It's like okay,
I understand. I get it. Yeah, I get it. I feel it. I understand.
Yeah, but I don't need a PC anyway because the Stadia is coming, and nobody needs any kind of hardware with that. It's going to dominate next gen.
Yeah, they're setting themselves up real.
PlayStation be damned.
Yep.
He said you don't need a PC. Stadia is coming.
That's right.
PlayStation's dead, bro. PlayStation 5 is dead before it even launched.
Whoa. I don't know about that.
Stadia's going to take over, bro.
That's sarcasm, sir. End the podcast, Ryan.
Yeah, he's being released.
Forte, don't bring that foolery over here, bruh.
Yeah, you don't need that tomfoolery.
Yo, we're gonna get that Last of Us 2 release date.
Oh God, you're such a dad.
I don't think so, but we'll see.
I hope so.
Yeah, I think we're getting a lot of
mention for that event. Last of Us Part 2 release date possibly too. So yeah, a lot going on in March.
Oh, I can't wait.
What's up with these dudes? I saw a video yesterday talking about somebody was saying, who was it? It could have been the Quartering. I don't know if you guys seen him, but he had a video where he was talking about how the Cyberpunk game was going to be released this June, and I'm just sitting there laughing, going, "What the fuck are you smoking?"
Nah, bro,
that's nuts.
That's not even gonna happen. They announced that they also have another game stapled for release alongside with Cyberpunk, but it's gonna be like around 2021.
Yeah.
If Google is really suffering from problems, are we going to call it hashtag Fugelgate? I'm just saying.
Yes, Fugelgate. Yes, Fugelgate. That's what we're going to call it.
But I honestly, I do believe that we are going to get The Last of Us 2 in October. I really do. Strongly feel
I'm hoping.
Yeah, I got a good feeling about that one too, man.
I mean, it feels like it's going to be a fall to winter game because of the setting of the story.
Yeah, and it's like a horror-esque game too, so.
And plus, what way do you combat, let's say if Microsoft does have a great E3, how do you combat that? You just drop one of the biggest games of the generation.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh, you have announcements. We got games. Shut up.
Yep.
Yeah, they're going to combat Last of Us 2 with Ori 2, bro. It's going to be a head-to-head matchup.
As much as I like Ori, it's not competing with
let's not disrespect Ori here, but that's not a competition.
That's not on the same level, no.
I could possibly see Gears 5 and The Last of Us going head to head.
I wouldn't even put Gears 5 on that level, and I'm excited for Gears 5. It's just that The Last of Us, bro, that game is on another level. It's
animation, gameplay wise, everything's just top notch.
The story.
Gaminator, he says, "You guys fancy having a throwdown and tag us up?" Yeah, I'm cool. Yeah, sure. Why not?
Anytime, Gaminator, just let us know, man.
Yeah, you got us on PSN, hit us up. We're sure we'll fire it up. But yeah. That's just a lot of funny shit, man.
I'm hyped for Gears, but I feel like they need to evolve the game the way they did with God of War.
All about Gears. A lot of people are sleeping on that.
They are sleeping on it. It's going to be great.
The coalition has said that they are innovating within Gears 5. They are pushing it.
Yeah, that's good.
So they're
finally.
That's good.
That's all I got to say. Finally.
Finally, yeah. Even though I like Gears 4. Gears 4 was great.
Yeah, Gears 4, that game got a lot of hate. I actually really love that game.
The story for me was the best thing about Gears 4.
I like that series more than Halo, to be honest. Like in terms of story.
Yeah, because Halo just got too watered down.
The thing is that Halo 5 left a sour taste in people's mouths. That's what it is.
Yeah, 4, actually, I didn't like the fact that I was playing as the other guy.
Bro, 4 was a hot mess. Let's just be honest. Halo 4 was a hot mess.
Halo 4 is my favorite one, so you're off the podcast now. You're kicked off.
Oh,
Listen, buddy. If you don't own the original ones on the Xbox One, on the original OG Xbox, you cannot talk.
I'll send you pictures. I actually own those games.
I got the whole entire collection.
It's my favorite franchise. But anyway,
Halo 1 through 3 is it for me, man. I like Bungie's Halo, and that's pretty much
Bungie Halo 3 is the goatees. Anything that 343 makes is hot, pure.
Stop.
Oh, there we go. Let's go ahead and shut this down, man. Thank you guys so very, very much for joining us for the RGT episode 53. To everybody that was here, hope you guys enjoyed the show. Hit that like button if you did. Thank you guys so much for stopping by, chilling, talking some gaming. Just a laid back episode. Obviously, you already know a few things happened this week. Not a whole bunch of stuff that really just screamed, "Oh my God, we must talk about it," aside from this Sony event as well. But that's pretty much it. I want to say thank you to everybody who's in the chat here and in the panel. Thank you guys so much for taking time out of your day as well for joining us. And I'm gonna let you guys do your outros. We're gonna shut it down. So go ahead, my brother from another mother, Pablo. Go ahead.
Yo, you already know Pablo the Third, aka Donnie Brasco, aka Discounted Scarface, aka whatever. Feel me? So thanks for inviting me, bro. Appreciate it.
Anytime, my brother. Anytime. Shout out to you, Carlos. Go ahead, bro.
As always, man. Friday, we here. We're enjoying ourselves. Enough said. Deuces.
Okay. Shout out to Diver, who also came by as well. Shout out to Diver. And Craig, go ahead.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Appreciate the Vine. And go ahead and play the games. I may be streaming Horizon Zero Dawn here shortly.
No. Mr. Fugelgate himself. Go ahead.
Man, don't disrespect Google. All right.
Yo, Fugo already becoming a thing too.
You can call me Fugarelli. You can find me at Jay Fonzarelli on Twitter and here on YouTube, and on Tuesdays on the RDX Gaming Podcast, and as well as our new podcast, me and Meds are starting up next Sunday, the 31st. It's going to be called the Fight Culture Podcast. We're going to be discussing the world of mixed martial arts and having a great time doing it.
Absolutely.
I look forward to that, bro. I really do.
Oh, we will have live call-ins and everything as well.
Oh, yes. Let's go.
That sounds great. Sounds great indeed. Mr. Meds, live from the Ed Express. Go ahead.
Hey, I'm home now. But let it be known to everybody listening right now, this is how much I love y'all. I did half this show from a moving train, all right? Just so you guys know. And like my friend Fonzarelli here just mentioned, Fugarelli, he and I, we're embarking on a new journey together. We're going to be discussing mixed martial arts. As he said, you can follow us at Fight Culture Pod on Twitter, and the YouTube channel is Fight Culture. And every Sunday at 4 p.m. Eastern, you can catch us there giving our takes on face smashing. And after that,
I got to add something. Really quick.
Are you guys going to talk about TJ popping?
We're going to talk about it all. Go ahead.
Here's the thing. This is how serious me and Meds are. We will, I'm telling you right now, it may be a little while, but we will end up having fighters on the show.
100%.
Oh, yes.
Okay.
100%.
That sounds great.
Oh, hold on. Who y'all having on the podcast?
Crackdown 3. Go buy Crackdown 3. That game has bombed. I'm talking about
Come on,
yo, if y'all have TJ Dillashaw, ask him why he popped.
I'm just saying, go buy that game, ladies and gentlemen.
Try to get Greg Cardi on the show. Meds, ask him why he cheated.
Oh shit!
I'll play.
Have a great weekend, everybody.
Yo, y'all have a blessed one, my peoples.
Y'all like Crackdown. I mean, that's pathetic. I'm disappointed in the Xbox community.
Make sure to subscribe to each and every single individual on this podcast on their YouTubes. And follow me at Just Me and My Girls on Twitter as well, where all the tomfoolery begins with these trolls. Deuces.
For sure. I don't know if you guys will leave the link to the actual YouTube channel you guys are going to do, right? The Fight Club. I subscribe to it, but I don't know if you leave the link to it in the chat.
My link is all Fugazi right now. Once we are a little bit more established, I'll be able to make our own URL. And that's the one I'm going to be sending out to everybody.
Yeah, and we'll put it right here on the RGT as well, man, so that people can show the support, man.
Any support that you guys can give, and anybody watching, we appreciate.
Oh yeah, definitely. I'll definitely.
Are you guys gonna accept donations on there? I'll like chip in if you guys do some type of thing like that.
We'll talk about that later.
Sure. Alrighty. This is Big Cloud Gaming again. Thank you guys again for stopping by. RGT episode 53. Hope you guys enjoyed. We will see you guys next week at 5 p.m. Eastern time. Thank you guys again. Y'all be blessed. Y'all be easy. And at the end of the day, play some games. We'll see you guys next time.
PCMR.